Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Make Every Second Count, the show where we try to help you live a awesome life instead of the life you possibly are living now. So, I just want to say that thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate all of you, and I ask you if you would please hit that like button, please hit that share button, because you never know whose life we're going to be able to change or even save. So share this video out, invite all kinds of people to watch this video, and don't be afraid to interact with us while we're on the air. I would appreciate that as well. So I have an awesome guest tonight, and her name is Amanda Acker. Hi, Amanda. How are you doing?
Hi, Jeff. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I am great. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening to be here with me and my viewers. So, if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself, I will be inviting people, but don't think I'm not paying attention because I'm going to be paying attention.
All right, sounds good. First of all, thank you, Jeff, for having me on here. And to introduce myself, I am Amanda Acker. I live near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm a podcast host of the Let Good Things In show, and I'm also a transformational coach. So that is me in a very small nutshell.
That is pretty awesome. But what is the number one transformation you like to see in your clients?
I like to see when, not even so much clients, but just in general, when my message or advice that I've given to someone has inspired them to move forward in their life. Like, I like that, when I see people, hear my story or hear a story that I've shared of somebody else and say, wow, like I really needed to hear that. And now I know either I'm not alone or that, I can do things regardless of, what I've been through in my past as well. That's the most powerful thing and I love hearing that. So I hope that answers your question.
No, that is fantastic. Now, here on this show, we like to kind of talk a little bit about things we have went through, because on social media it's more like a highlight reel, and
Yeah.
people don't think that other people have problems too. And I want to show everybody that each and every person, no matter how successful they are, they still face things in their life. So what exactly have you had to overcome to
Mm,
becoming your best self?
That's a loaded question, Jeff. So just to kind of put things in a smaller space, I've been through a lot. Mainly, the first experience that I've had to overcome trauma was my parents divorcing when I was 15, and that led me to a lot of bad decisions and things that, because I didn't really know how to be an adult, so to speak, because my mother left and my dad was, he was there at the beginning, but then he met someone. So it was kind of like me just kind of navigating life. And so to start things off, at age 19, I placed one of my firstborn for adoption, and that kind of set me, well, not kind of, I always say kind of, but it did, it set me through an emotional roller coaster and led me to more drug use than what I was doing prior, and drinking, and that led me to make a choice that wound me behind bars. And I'm a convicted felon. I was addicted to cocaine and poor and didn't know how to make money. So a friend of mine and I made a really bad choice and committed a crime. And then after that, it was just the same story, just always looking outside for acceptance. I never took time to ask myself what felt good to me or what did I want out of life. It was always, well, I have to do this because if I don't, this person's not going to like me. Or if I make this choice, all these things. And I had to overcome all of that. And I wasn't doing a very good job of it for many years of my life. I lived in shame, guilt. I hid my truth from everyone. I would never have openly said I'm a felon, even just a couple years ago. I never
Well,
would have
thank
done
you.
that.
I appreciate you telling my viewers that, because that is, I never would have guessed that about you.
That's what I hear. Most people don't believe me, but it's true. But yeah, and a couple years ago was my final rock bottom, and it was because I was listening to a lot of well, let me backtrack a little bit. So I left a very long-term relationship with a narcissist, and I was still dealing with his torture, and I to this day I still deal with it, not as heavy as back then, but torturing and just all these outside voices talking to me. And me and my husband had just gotten together, and because I was listening to everybody else and not myself, I almost destroyed our marriage by lying to him and just making poor choices yet again, just constantly self-sabotaging. And I really was in a dark place, and I wanted to end my own life. And that is when my wake up call happened. And I don't have some like spiritual story to tell about it. I just remember sitting in my closet crying by myself and just wanting to end my life. And then all of a sudden, I was thinking to myself, well, wait, you can't, Amanda. Like, you need to figure out what is happening here. You can't leave your kids, your husband. Like, look how far you've come despite all of this already. So I asked for help. I reached out to my husband and told him what was going on. And we had deep conversations on a daily basis about how I could learn how to love me and accept me and see me even a fraction of how he saw me. And that's my story in a nice little
Well,
nutshell.
that is really cool, and I am so happy that you made it. But I want to say hi to Brenda Ringwood from Kansas. I want to say hi to Leah and hi to Chuck Black. And then hi to my dad, hi to Sarah, hi to Nicole, hi to Brittany. And I'm so glad you guys are watching tonight, because you can learn something very special from Amanda here. And I wanted to read a comment from Brenda Ringwood. It says, you can't hide from the past, but you can learn from it and make a difference now. And that is so true, because I was in a serious car accident. I was in a coma 2.5 months and in the hospital 3.5 months. They told me that I wouldn't walk again, and they told me all kinds of stuff about things that I wouldn't be able to do. And there are many, many, many people, and I know there have been people in your life, I'm sure, that have told you there's something you can't do.
Yep.
Well, my thing is that you are the only person that can hold you back. I mean, other people can give you permission to quit. Other people can say it's not going to be possible. They can say all kinds of hurtful things. But unless you want to, don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is it that really got you to the point that you said, I don't want to die?
It was a mixture of things. I was thinking about the first thing that popped into my head was why am I crying? Like, why am I allowing people to control my life? I wasn't speaking up for myself or making choices for myself. I was making choices based on other people. And, obviously my children and my husband were a huge deciding factor as well. And I think it was just me really hitting that final rock bottom and turning it around and looking at myself instead of playing victim, because I had a very bad habit of getting myself in situations and making choices, but then saying, oh, well, I wouldn't have done it if this person wouldn't have told me to do it. Or, so I wasn't facing my own, I don't know what the right word is, but I wasn't facing myself to be able to see that the problem was me in the situation. Not, yes, those people had bad influences on me, so to speak, but I was still the one making those choices. No one held a gun to my head. No one told me that, something, the world was going to come to an end if I didn't do certain things. It was me telling myself that if I didn't do this, I was going to be rejected in some way.
That is amazing. Guys in the audience out there, please let me know something that you have struggled with in your life. I'm very interested to see what your input might be. So I have to ask, how did you get to the point that you love yourself and you are becoming the best you?
Yeah, so that's an ongoing thing, but I will say that one of the first things I did was ask for help because I didn't even know when I hit this point in my life. I didn't even know what I was looking for. I didn't know that I was even looking for self-love and acceptance. I just wanted to feel better. And so with that, when I was talking to my husband and he would tell me things and I would talk things out about what I was feeling and experiencing and go deeper on things that I've been through in my past, he, encouraged me to journal and write things. So I started by writing, and then I started looking into self-help and then self-discovery. And I just kind of went down a rabbit hole, so to speak. And I will say that affirmations were a huge part of me learning to love and accept myself, because with those, I was able to take my negative thoughts and reflect on those and figure out how can I reprogram my brain, so to speak, to not think so poorly of myself. And that's how affirmations help me, saying I am enough, I am good enough. I have a negative thought that says, even today I'm still on this journey, I'll tell myself that no one's going to listen to my podcast. No one cares what I have to say. And now I'm able to catch those thoughts and then, sit down and either write them out or just think to myself, okay, like, is this true? And doing all these self-discovery and affirmations and learning to visualize in a more strategic way, because I was always a visualizer. I have a huge imagination, but in visualizing my future and how I wanted it to look like, I was better able to tune into me and figure out what I actually saw in my future, because I never really thought about it any further past how am I going to pay for my next pack of cigarettes. Like, that's how I was living. So I didn't really see a brighter future.
Now, I'm sorry here. I have to take a little minute because you mentioned something about journaling and
Mm-hmm.
how journaling helped you. And that's a perfect segue to advertise my journal.
Yeah.
Now, so my journal is called Make Every Second Count, a 1,500-hour journal. Now, it is originally designed for kids 11 through 19, but I have since then learned that it will work for everyone. And each week is over a different topic. And I even happen to know that developing affirmations is one of those subjects, and the way you talk to yourself is a big part of that book. But you can actually go to my website and you will see it up on the screen here, www.jeffmarkinetjr.com/journal, and you can actually download the first week of that for absolutely free. All you have to do is enter a little information there on the website and it's yours to download. All right,
Awesome.
now back to you, Amanda. So, is there any information that you can offer other people to help them get to the point where they love themselves, they talk to themselves in a completely different manner, and they're not so negative all the time?
Yes, what I would tell people and what I talk about all the time is taking time to pause. I know that doing nothing, may sound ridiculous, and especially for those of us like me who think if we sit still, we're doing something wrong. But literally, you know, take a moment, whether you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, doesn't matter the length of time, but take that moment, close your eyes, and just breathe into yourself and think about your future and what it is that you want. What will you no longer accept into your life? Like, what is that thing that you keep seeing repeat and repeat in your life? Is it toxic relationships? Is it, getting jobs where your coworkers are, bullying you every day, or whatever it is? What will you no longer tolerate into your life? And that is a huge step into the direction of figuring out who you are so that you can love yourself. Because when you live your life in, I call it like in chameleon phase, like I was, just constantly like trying to be like everyone else just to fit in and be loved and accepted, you lose yourself in that. And it takes that time to reflect on that, to get back to, okay, this is who I am. These are my values. These are my boundaries. And this isn't something that you're going to get done in one day. It's an ongoing journey. But once you start, you're going to see that you're going to start, your life's just going to be more positive and be grateful. Practice gratitude. That's also a huge one that I forgot to mention earlier. Practicing
Oh, that
gratitude.
that's another chapter in my journal.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so important because you can, even if it's just waking up, I'm so grateful for today. Thank you for giving me another day.
You
It's
know that's completely funny to me because every morning when I wake up, even before I get out of bed, I post on Facebook. I don't check the comments. I don't check my news feed. I don't check any of that stuff. I just post. And I post one thing every day. I am so thankful to be given today. And I will make it a great day. That's it.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I post that every single day. And I've done it for like 3 years, I think.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
I absolutely love it. While it shows my gratitude for the day, it also it also gives me an excuse to have nothing but a great day. And it won't let me accept anything but great because I already said it's going to be a great day.
Yes. Yep.
So I think that is amazing. And I'm sorry, I just found that funny that you were saying something like that and I do something like that.
No, that's great. I love that you do that. I think we all need to do that because, throughout the day, for example, if I had a really emotional day one day last week, and what I had, to get all my emotions out. And then while doing that, I was thinking, well, what do I have right now that I can be grateful for? And in doing that, it really switched gears for me. And instead of spending weeks sad, depressed, giving up on everything and throwing in the towel, I felt better. And the next day I woke up and I was positive. And yeah, there's still remnants of it, but it's not affecting every moment of my life anymore. That's the difference.
That is amazing. So what say one or two things would you tell somebody they honestly need to do because it will change their life?
Ooh, one or two things. Wow, I have so many. I have to think of the best ones. Well, I mean, honestly, the gratitude is one of them. Have gratitude. I mean, even when you're in your darkest hour, there's something you can be grateful for. Like just was just talking about, be grateful just to be alive. And it's going to help you feel like you're better able to handle what that situation is. And another one is to the whole thing about pausing and reflecting. Do it as often as you can. I make sure to reflect and pause every day, even if that's just the moments before I fall asleep at night. Just a moment to myself where it's quiet and I can just imagine my future and how I want it to be. Those are two things that I do every single day, and they have changed my life for the better. And if I can add in a bonus one, I have to say affirmations. I can't let that one slide. So affirmations are so powerful. Use those too every single day.
That is amazing, and I really think that other people can benefit from listening to you talk, because you are full of wisdom, you are full of knowledge, and wherever that came from, I just thank you. I am grateful for you, Amanda, and
And I'm
I'm
grateful for
grateful.
you, Jeff. Thank
And
you.
I'm grateful that you were on this show tonight and you are putting yourself out there trying to help other people. I find that to be absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I know people out there are often busy and they don't have a lot of time. So I like to keep this show short. Now, I have to ask though, before we get off the air, do you have any contact information, or you can tell people even how they can watch your podcast or listen to your podcast?
Yes, so my podcast is the Let Good Things In show. It's on all streaming platforms like Apple. I think I call it Apple iMusic. I don't know. I don't use Apple. Whoa.
iTunes.
iTunes. Thank you. iMusic. See, Spotify, all those. It's on there. You can also find me on Facebook, Amanda Marie Acker, and then I have my Facebook group, which is also called the Let Good Things In show. So those are the main ways to get me. And if you're not on Facebook, Amanda@amandaacker.com is my email.
Amanda@amandaacker.com.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, hit this girl up. Pick her brain, because I guarantee you'll find some knowledge that you don't have now, and your life will just skyrocket. All right, guys. So, I need everybody out there, including you, Amanda, to do me a favor.
Yep.
I need you guys to make every second count. Why, you might ask? Well, you never know when the seconds will run out on your one life. So, guys, I'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, have a great day.